Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here with Or Luna. So sorry for the lack of uploads the last few days. I'm back now, and I have a pretty good story time in my opinion. I think you guys will enjoy this one. Today's story time topic is loyalty, specifically how not being loyal can get you in a situation that's not good at all. And I think you guys will enjoy it. If you do, leave a like on the video, and let's jump into it. So, today's story time starts off like any other story time. Like a normal day, you know? I just got up out of bed, I went and got some breakfast, I was sitting at my table in my kitchen, and one of my friends hits me up. Let's just call this friend Connor, okay? Connor hits me up, and he's like, yo, man, what are you doing today? I'm like, nothing. He's like, all right, cool, could I come over and hang out? I was like, yeah, for sure. So Connor comes over like 10 minutes later, he's at my house, and the thing about Connor is Connor had been dating a girl for about a year, and he wasn't happy in the relationship. Him and his girlfriend would argue 24/7. They didn't even like each other, it seemed like. Like every time he would bring her over, they would just argue and get into it, and it just wasn't fun to listen to. And I would always tell Connor, like, why don't you guys just break up? Like, you know, you don't seem happy with each other. And his excuse was always like, oh, well, we're in love, man, and like, we don't want to give up on that. And every time I was like, yeah, I get it, but like, you're one argument away from suplexing each other off a building. Like, I just don't think you guys are happy. And he laughed, and he was like, yeah, man, we're going through a rough patch. We bicker a lot, but we're getting through it, I swear. I was like, yeah, man, it's all good. Like, it's your choice at the end of the day. I just want to see you both happy. Because they were both my friends. His girlfriend was my friend as well. So anyway, yeah, fast forward. Connor's at my house. We're just sitting there at the dinner table. I'm eating my breakfast still. And all of a sudden, while Connor's looking down at his phone, he yells out, what the fuck? And I was like, what happened? Are you okay? He's like, nah, dude, nah, this can't be real. This can't fucking be real. I was like, dude, what's going on? And he pulls his phone up. And he points the phone at me and shows me what he's looking at on his screen. And it's his girlfriend, let's call her Lexi. It's Lexi, his girlfriend, hanging out with some guy on this other girl's story. And they were hugging, and it wasn't like a normal friend hug. It was like the kind of hug where, you know, if they were dating, that's how they would hug. You know, the guy had his hands a little bit below. And Connor didn't like this. Connor started freaking out. He's like, who the fuck is that? Like, do you know who that is? I was like, no, man, I have no idea. He's like, nah, fuck this. I'm calling her. So he FaceTimes her and starts yelling at her. Like, who is that? Who's on your story? And she's like, oh, that's just my friend from college. Like, don't worry about it. And he's like, yeah, some friend from college is hugging you, putting his hands on you like that? Like, nah, I'm not cool with that. And Connor was very angry. He was very, very, very angry. And I kind of understood it. Like I said, the hug that he was giving her wasn't like a friend hug. So I understood him being nervous about, you know, her potentially hanging out with someone in a flirtatious way. But at the same time, he was screaming, like top of his lungs screaming. So I put my hand on his shoulder and I was like, Connor, man, like, just dial it back a little bit, like, chill out for a sec. He's like, yeah, man, you're right, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry for screaming in your house. Like, I'm really sorry. I was like, nah, man, you're good. Like, I'm not worried about that. I just don't want you to, like, fucking throw your voice out or anything. And he's like, thank you, man. So him and his girlfriend continue to argue, and she ends up hanging up on him and tells him to stop being so insecure. To which Connor has a fucking meltdown. He starts freaking out. He, like, drops to the ground. He puts his head in his hands. Like, he was really, really upset. And I don't know what to do, because, like, I've been in situations that are shitty like that, and you really have to just go through it. So I like sit down with him, and I was like, dude, it's going to be okay, like I promise. And he's like, yeah, man, I can't trust her anymore. Like, I just can't trust her. And I was like, dude, I think it's time that you guys like split up. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm going to think about it. Like, I think I'm going to tonight. And I was like, all right, man. So fast forward a couple hours later, another friend of ours comes over. Let's just call him Kenny, okay? My friend Kenny came over to come hang out with me and Connor because he knew that Connor was going through it too. So we're all hanging out together, and then Kenny has this brilliant idea as the nighttime rolls around to go to a strip club. He's like, yo, guys, I know what will get our minds off everything. Let's go to the strip club. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. And Kenny's like, why not? And then Connor goes, yeah, why not, Austin? I was like, because you haven't even broken up with your girlfriend yet, Connor. And if you go to a strip club, she's probably going to show up and try and fight one of the strippers because that's the type of girl she is. And he's like, fuck it, man. I don't care. We're going. So yeah, we get in my friend's car, and I tagged along with them to the strip club. Now, I get in there with them, we walk in, and immediately Connor goes for a lap dance. Like, immediately. Runs up to some girl and pays her to give him a lap dance. And, of course, he takes out his phone while he's getting it and films it. Just films the whole thing and puts it on a Snapchat story. And I knew, right when he did that the night was about to get a whole lot fucking worse. After he puts that on a Snapchat story, almost immediately, like 5 minutes later, I start getting phone calls. Connor starts getting phone calls from his girlfriend, Lexi. And she's calling me, she's calling him, and I answer one of the calls. And I was like, hello? And she goes, Austin, are you with Connor right now? Is he with you? He's not answering my calls. Is he with you? And I was like, yeah, why? And she goes, is he at the fucking strip club? I was like, no. Just like trying not to get in the middle of the situation. I was denying it. And she's like, I'm on my way there right now. And she hangs up the phone. And I was like, oh shit. So I quickly run up to Connor and Kenny. Connor's still getting a lap dance from the same girl. And I was like, dude, your girlfriend's on the way. And the stripper's like, oh, you got a girlfriend? And Connor's like, yeah, don't worry about it. He's like, wait, what do you mean she's on the way? And I was like, your girlfriend is on the way. She saw your Snapchat story and you ignored her phone calls. So then she called me, to which I answered because I didn't know what to do. And she said she was on her way. And Connor's like, fuck. I was like, yeah, dude, I told you, like, this was not a good idea. He's like, yeah, man, you're right. Let's just leave. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I stand up and I'm ready to go, right? And then Connor goes, hold on, man, let me finish my dance. And I was like, dude, we don't have that much time. She lives kind of close. Like, I don't want to fucking wait. And he goes, bro, come on, like 5 more minutes. I was like, all right, dude, fuck it. I'm going to sit right here. But if she shows up and starts fucking causing a scene, I'm just going to fucking leave. And he's like, all right, man, that's fair. So sure enough, 5 minutes later, guess who shows up to the strip club and we're not gone yet? Lexi, Connor's girlfriend. She runs in those front doors. She runs up to both of us. And without hesitation, she pushes this stripper off of Connor and jumps on top of her and begins to start fighting a stripper. Now Connor's trying to break it up. I'm trying to break it up. They are pulling on each other's hair. It was very hard to break them up because they were basically attached to each other. And it was impossible. And Kenny runs over. He's trying to help us. Some of the staff ran over. We finally get them broken up a few moments later. And they did not look good. Lexi, Connor's girlfriend, had hair clumps missing. So did the dancer. It was not a fun time. And needless to say, we all got banned from that strip club because Lexi was being a fucking psychopath who attacked a stripper. So we get escorted out of this club real quick, and we have to go back to our cars. Lexi and Connor were screaming at each other in the parking lot. And at this point, I was so fucking fed up with both of them that I just got between them, and I went, shut the fuck up, both of you. And they look at me like, what? And I was like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Like, you guys are terrible. You're awful for each other. Every single day you guys bicker and fight like a couple of old fucks. Like, shut up for once. Just break the fuck up. You guys aren't happy. One of you's hanging out with some guy who has his hands on your ass, and the other dude's going to a strip club to spite you and fucking getting a lap dance. Like, you both are toxic. Just fucking break up. It's 2 words. Break up. Do it. And my friend's like, Austin, stay out of this. I was like, okay, I'm good. I just had to get that off my chest. You both are fucking toxic. Have a wonderful night. And me and Kenny turned around. We went to Kenny's car, and we drove off. And that was the end of that. Connor and his girlfriend ended up breaking up. Lexi and Connor broke up that night. I guess they took my advice. And they were happier because of it. Literally, within a few weeks, they were both so much better to be around. And after a couple months, they found other people that were a lot cooler and not toxic. So yeah, moral of the story is if you're in a toxic relationship, just get out of it. And also, don't do shit out of jealousy. Like, seriously, that's just so petty. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's story time, guys. I thought it was a pretty crazy one. We got banned from a strip club, and there was a fight. So, thought it was an interesting one. Hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys all later. Peace.
Even the night you be wanting to fight. When I pull up, you see it's like, oh shit. Cut all these ties cause they plan my demise. They all snakes and I think it's been showing. I got some issues, they haunting me daily. I'm losing my